I am a super lazy crafter, and so I figured, why reinvent the wheel? So in fact, I brought 3 projects with me, and we're gonna be using the same exact design and even the same techniques to create all 3 of these projects. So it really starts with the design. So to begin, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draw out my basic design. So the first thing is the word hello, just written in my normal messy handwriting. And then it's the different parts of the eye, the sort of white of the eye, and then we're gonna say the kind of outline of the eye here with the eyelashes, the iris, the slightly smaller little pupil, and then even a glint. So nothing particularly fancy. And if you look over at my electronic cutter, you can see that I already have scanned in the same design that we just worked on. So I'm gonna do an outline scan of all of those eye parts right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and save that into the machine. And once that's done, then I'm gonna do a scan where I simply save the inside and the outside of the hello because I want that to cut slightly differently. And I'm gonna go ahead and save that into my machine. And of course, if you don't have an electronic scanner, you can cut all of this by hand, no problem. You could use punches, all sorts of stuff. So once all my files are saved, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a sticky mat. Now we are gonna use a fusible web. And if you're not familiar with sewing or quilting or anything like that, a fusible web is basically it's an adhesive sheet that's attached to a piece of paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that down onto my sticky mat and just make sure that it's well adhered on there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and load that into my electronic cutter, and again, use scissors, use a punch, use whatever you have to do the cuts. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab those designs that we already did. Here we go, and I want to grab the word hello. There it is. And now, of course, once my design is here, I can do anything I want with it. So I can resize it and, make it a different size, just have fun with it. So the only thing to think about now is how to cut it. And we wanna do a kiss cut where we only cut through the top layer. And I already have everything set so that that's gonna work out. And I'm gonna go ahead and press the start button. Now, I happen to have some here that's already cut. You can see it right here. It's nice and delicate. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that down onto a piece of cardstock. Then I'm gonna put a little extra piece of the backing, and I'm just gonna cover that up. And then I'm gonna walk over to the laminator. And now at the laminator, I'm gonna make sure to create a sandwich where I put this right inside a piece of parchment paper. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fold it in, and I'm gonna place this into the laminator. Now, one of the things that's important when you're using a laminator is you want to make sure to let it heat up for about 10 minutes. It really takes about that much time to get it to the right heat. The other thing is, obviously, because of the parchment paper, we're doing that so it doesn't burn, nothing bad happens, and it all stays okay. So this is going to take its sweet time going through the laminator, but I have one here which I've already done. And if you look at it, what you'll see that just bit of shine? That's where that adhesive, that fusible web essentially, has gone down onto my piece of paper. And all I did when it came out of the laminator is let it cool, and then I went ahead and pulled off the excess paper. So now we're ready to get shiny. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab some foil, and you can grab any color that you want. There aren't any rules. We're artists. We like to use all the colors. Now, foil has usually a plain side, and then it has a colored side. Now this is a fancy one that has lots of different colors. But all I'm gonna do is simply place it over. You can trim it down so it's not quite so large, obviously. And then I would go back to the laminator, and I can simply take parchment paper, and I can use the same paper that already went through the laminator. You don't have to have anything new. And I would make a sandwich where I put it right around, and then I'm gonna go ahead and feed it back through. And again, just remember, the colored side needs to to be up. What you want to have show needs to be up. What you are putting down against it is that sort of silver side. So while that's going through, I want to show you another way to work with the same fusible web. So on the pillow, you can see this is obviously fabric. Well, guess what fusible web is great for? It's great for fabric. So again, I simply cut a word and I put it down on my fabric, and then I went ahead and I ironed it. And I have one here that's already done where I've removed the paper, and you can see that shine on there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a piece of foil, same process, and I'm simply going to put it with the silver shiny side down, and I'm going to put it into a folder of parchment paper, just like so. And once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a hot iron to iron it. Now you do want to hold your iron in place for a little while. It's not dissimilar from the laminator. You're simply laminating by hand. And once you feel that that is done, that is melted, that adhesive and everything's ready to go, then you can simply remove your iron and you can let this cool. I want to show you something really important. This eye here was a place where I got, well, impatient. I really wanted it to work soon and quickly, and so I pulled it off while it was still warm. And unfortunately, what that means is you get this distressed look. But I thought this was kind of a fun discovery because I actually like the distressed look. But if you want a smooth finish, let it cool all the way. So next, if you look at the little canvas, you can see we have some free-form pieces. Now those free-form pieces are cut out of toner paper, either with the machine or by hand. And I have one here that's already done, and what you can see is that when I pull off this foil, which has stuck to the toner paper, and toner paper is really just paper that's black on one side and white on the other, and it has toner on the front, but look at that gorgeous shine. So let's grab our original piece out of the laminator, and here it is. And if we pull away the excess foil, ooh, you can see we can really get our shine on. And how about that fabric that we ironed? Let's take a peek at how that turned out. It's nice and cool, and I'm simply gonna tear away the foil, and oh yeah, look at that shine.